I'm Nancy Showalter, and you're listening to Spirituality for the Politically Incorrect podcast. Welcome, all radical paradigm shifters and creative change makers. You who dare to create a better life and a better world. Tap into the power that resides within you and use that power for constructive change. Hello and welcome to Spirituality for the Politically Incorrect. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the transformative power of forgiveness, what it truly is, and, just as importantly, what it is not. Many people struggle with the concept of forgiveness, seeing it as unfair or even dangerous. But what if I were to say that forgiveness is the key to your own spiritual and emotional liberation? Would you believe it? Well, let's begin with what forgiveness is not. There are many misconceptions about forgiveness, and before we can truly understand its power, we must clear away these misunderstandings. First, forgiveness is not about excusing or justifying another person's actions. Many people resist forgiveness because they feel it lets the offender off the hook. But in truth, forgiveness does not absolve them of responsibility. Even if the person accepts responsibility and apologizes, your pain remains unless you choose to release it. Forgiveness is about you, your peace, your healing, and your future. Neither does forgiveness mean staying in a toxic or harmful relationship. Some people fear that forgiving means that they must continue interacting with someone who has hurt them. You are not obliged to remain in a relationship with someone who is abusive or manipulative or emotionally toxic. You can forgive, release the burden of anger, and still set healthy boundaries. Forgiveness does not mean trusting someone who has repeatedly betrayed you. Some individuals, whether due to addiction or personality disorders, are incapable of consistently honoring trust. Recognizing this truth does not mean condoning their behavior, but it does mean protecting yourself. Forgiveness allows you to release resentment, but wisdom helps you maintain healthy boundaries. And most importantly, forgiveness is not weakness, it is power. Holding on to anger is easy. It takes true strength to forgive. When you choose to forgive, you reclaim your energy from the past and reinvest it in the present. Now, let's look at what forgiveness truly is. Forgiving, giving it up. From a spiritual perspective, forgiveness is a sacred alchemy that allows you to transmute past wounds into light. It is your conscious decision to let go of resentment, not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve peace. A marvelous spiritual tool is the violet flame, a spiritual fire, a frequency of energy that dissolves negative karma and frees the soul from the chains of past hurts. When you forgive, you align yourself with the divine grace and accelerate your spiritual evolution. So how do you practice forgiveness? Well, begin by acknowledging what is. Acknowledge the pain. Pretending it doesn't hurt only suppresses emotions. Be honest with your feelings. But then, understand that forgiveness is for you. It's not about them. It's about freeing yourself. Affirm your release, a simple yet powerful affirmation. I choose to release all resentment. I am free, and I set others free. Use the violet flame. Visualize a purifying light dissolving the negativity and the energetic imprint of the event. Surround yourself and all those involved in the situation with the violet light. Use the mantra, I am the violet flame, victorious and free, one with God I am for all eternity. Set boundaries. Forgiveness does not mean allowing continued harm. Choose relationships that nurture your soul. As we close, take a moment to reflect and even write down your responses to these questions. What is your greatest fear about forgiving someone who hurt you deeply? Choose one situation to focus on and dig deep and be honest with your feelings. What would it feel like to let go of that burden? This is an important step. If you seriously imagine not feeling those feelings, you'll begin to see that you can experience freedom, and you do not have to be a victim of your own emotions. As already mentioned, acknowledge the hurt, process it, and be willing to let it go. Simple, but not always easy. But that's where your decision to do so comes in, with the help of spiritual practices such as the violet flame and mantras. So the final question is, are you ready to take that step forward? Remember, forgiveness is a journey, not a one-time event, but each step brings greater peace and light into your life. If today's episode spoke to you, share it with someone who may need it. And remember, true freedom lies in your power to forgive. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, walk in grace, light, and the healing power of love. Thank you for being with me today, and if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, download, and comment. I'd love to hear from you, and your support is much appreciated. And don't forget to go to theawakeningnow.com for free bonuses and information on my new book, You Were Born to Be a Christ, but You Were Taught You Are a Sinner. Awaken to who you really are. See you next week.